You're thinking about selling your home. It's one of the biggest investment you have. So you want to make sure you sell your home without making any mistakes that could end up being costly. Watch this video to see the most common mistakes other people make when they sell their home so you can avoid those situations. Number one is pricing the home. Pricing the home correctly is very important because that's one of the most important factors people look for when they're looking to buy their home. To price your home correctly, you need to understand what kind of market you're in and also have a good understanding of what homes similar to yours have sold in the market. Don't make the mistake other sellers make. Most people have an emotional attachment to their home, so they often tend to think that their home is worth more than what other people would agree that their home is worth. This leads to a lot of sellers overpricing their home. When you overprice your home, a lot of the buyers that would have been interested in buying your home won't see it online because it doesn't fit their criteria, or they won't even come to look at your home. This leads to less competition on your home, which could end up resulting in your home selling for less than the maximum price your home could have sold for. But it's not just about overpricing the home. Sometimes you could price it too low. Again, one might not see it because it doesn't fit their search criteria, or you could end up attracting too many buyers that won't qualify for buying your home. If your goal is to get the maximum price for your home, pricing it too low could sometimes lead you not getting offers that are not aggressive enough, which could end up resulting in you selling your home for less than the maximum price you could have sold your home for. Where you price your home has to take into account of the market condition, whether if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. Another thing to consider is that when you're selling your home, you want it to fit people's search criteria. For example, some sellers think that pricing their home at $499,000 instead of $500,000 would make it look more affordable. If a buyer has their search criteria online set from $500,000 to $600,000, they might not end up seeing the home just because of that $1,000 difference. But if you price it at $500,000, those buyers will end up seeing the home, and also the buyers that have their search criteria set from $400,000 to $500,000. So it's important to understand what common search criteria are. While you can change the price of the home later, having the home sit on the market for too long is going to work against you because a lot of buyers stop paying attention to the home after a while. The second mistake people make when they sell their home is taking bad photos. People, think about it. What's the first thing you look at when you're looking for properties online? For most people, it's either the photos of the home or the price of the home. You want to make sure you make a good impression of the home so people go from looking at the photos of the home on their phone and actually show up to your door to see the home. I always recommend professional photography of the home that is organized and clean. Instead, I see so many photos where the home is messy and the photos are taken by an amateur, where the lighting is horrible and the photos are slanted and out of focus. Mistake number 3 is bad availability to show the home. When you have your home on the market, you need to have a wide range of availability for the buyers to come and tour your home. You need to take into account the buyer's busy schedule as well. But some sellers are not flexible with this and they only have few hours during the week when the buyers could come and tour the home. This makes them miss out on a lot of the buyers. This is very common on homes where they have tenants who are not flexible as well. Ideally, you actually have open houses where the buyers could come and tour your home, especially the buyers that don't have an agent yet. Talking about agents, that brings me to mistake number 4, which is not hiring an agent. Some sellers try to sell their home without hiring an agent so they can save some money, but they don't understand the complexity of the task they're undertaking. There are a lot of things you had to do right in a transaction that if you do wrong, you could end up getting sued or end up paying a big fine. A good example of this is when you're trying to sell your home, you can't put in the property description that your property is in a family-friendly neighborhood because family status is a protected class, so you could end up paying a big fine for that. Then there are things such as what information to disclose when you're selling your property. Not disclosing some of the information could end up leading you to getting sued even years after you sell your home. Then there are also documents and other things that you need to know within the transaction. Here's an example. In California, when you're selling your home, if the buyers don't remove the contingencies by the contingency period, you can't just cancel the escrow and keep the earnest money deposit as a seller. Instead, you had to send them a notice to perform document and wait a few days for them to respond before you could even cancel. This is because California is a buyer-friendly state. Knowing this information is key if you're trying to sell in California. Most agents will also provide other marketing for your property on top of putting your property on MLS and all the major property websites. Within this is the mistake that some sellers make by hiring an agent that offers the lowest price. There are agents that advertise 1% listing, but many sellers are surprised to find out later that they still have to pay the commission for the buyer's side. Most often these low-cost realtors are providing a discounted service and their negotiation skills are pretty questionable. Another mistake some sellers make is not offering the buyer's side commission. They do this because they're trying to save money, but someone has to pay the buyer's agent the commission. So this usually ends up coming out of the buyer's pocket, which some buyers with limited down payment won't be able to afford. So you will end up missing out on some buyers. Some sellers also make the mistake of offering very low commission to the buyer's side agent, but this takes away the incentives for those agents to show your home. Know that most studies show that a home that's sold with an agent tend to sell for less than a home without an agent. So most sophisticated sellers concern themselves with how much money they net rather than how much money they had to pay the agent. Mistake number 5 is being present when the buyers are touring your home. Please don't do this and make it awkward for the buyers when they're coming into your home. Buyers usually want to freely walk around a home they're interested in buying and discuss the things that they like and don't like with the people that they came with, including their agents. But if you are around, they probably won't feel comfortable because most people are nice and they don't want to offend you because it's your home. It's best to just have the buyer and their agents tour the home, but if you need to, you can have your agent present there because buyers don't mind as much saying the negative things about the home to the agent, and that agent could relay the information back to you. Mistake number 6 is not staging your home. You ever tour a model home in a new home community? Think about how the home is decorated and how they have the furnitures and how good the home smells. They spend money to do this because they understand how buyers buy based on emotions, and when you're selling your home, you want your buyers' emotions on your side. Most buyers would agree that a staged home helps them visualize what their home could look like in the future. Not only this, a staged home tends to sell faster and for higher price compared to a home that is not staged. But some sellers, they try to save money on staging and they forget that they should really be focused on how much money they net when they sell their home. Staging isn't limited just to furniture. This includes new paint, new carpet, minor renovations, decluttering, all those things that could get you a good return on investment. A good realtor will be able to advise you on this because they come across these situations very often. Finally, a common mistake made by a lot of sellers when they're selling their home is letting emotions get in the way of the transaction. This includes getting offended by a lowball offer or getting very competitive and personal during the negotiation process. Sometimes the buyer that sends in the lowball offer is willing to come up to the price that you like as long as you're willing to negotiate with the buyer. The other thing I see pretty often is the competitive side of the seller kicking in. Rather than being focused on trying to sell the house for the highest price, some sellers get sidetracked trying to beat the other side on the negotiation process. I've seen sellers almost lose the great offer because they get into petty competition with the sellers. I feel like a good part of my job being a realtor is keeping these sellers and buyers focused on what's really important during this highly emotional negotiation process. That wraps it up. I hope you found this useful. You may reach me at my number here if you need help selling your home. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. 1,